Hi dears, today we will talk about the lessons of Unit 2. First lesson is about the forms of energy and their changes. First, we need to understand the meaning of energy. What is the energy? Why we need energy? Energy is the ability to do work. So if you are able or you can do the work, so you have energy. So if he asked you, give reason, you can ride a bike. Why? Because you have energy. Or even why you can run? Because you have energy. So if you are able to do any different activity, because you have energy. Energy helps us to do the different activities. Forms of energy or kinds of energy. The first kind we will talk about is the potential energy. It is the energy stored in a spring of any toy while the toy is not moving, like the spring of any toy car. Light energy. It is the energy produced from the sun or any electric lamp. Kinetic energy. It is the energy that moves the fans or washing machines. It helps any object to move. Heat energy. It is the energy produced from the heater. Sound energy. It is a form of energy that reaches our ears and causes the sense of hearing. The sound is produced due to the vibration of the objects or the movement of the objects. When any object moves, we can hear its sound, like the tuning fork or the piano. Electric energy. It is the energy produced from the dry cell or the battery. 7. The chemical energy. It is the energy stored inside the battery. We can find it inside the battery. Changes of energy. The energy used will be potential, and the energy produced which we need to use is the kinetic. If you want to change one form of the energy to another one, so we will start with the potential and changing it into kinetic. For example, leaving the spring of the toy to move. If we leave the spring of the toy, it will start to change the potential energy stored in the toy into kinetic, and the toy will start to move. What about if we want to change the kinetic energy into potential? Rotating or filling the toy, the spring of the toy will change or store the potential energy inside the toy. If we want to change kinetic energy, use the kinetic energy to produce sound energy. Like clap your hands. If you clap your hands, you will change the kinetic energy into sound like this. And the school bell, knocking on the door like this. Or pulling a rubber band, or even the violin. If we want to use the kinetic energy to produce the heat energy, rub your hand. If you rub your hands, you will change the kinetic energy into heat and your hands will be hotter. Removing a nail from a piece of wood. If you try to remove a nail from a piece of wood, you will find the nail is too hot to touch. What about hammering a piece of iron? You will find at the end that the piece of iron is too hot, so you change the kinetic energy into heat energy. What about if you want to change the kinetic energy into electric energy? Like in the dynamo or the electric generator. Electric generator, we can find it you can find it in your bike. So the kinetic energy change it into electric in the dynamo. What about the electric into sound if we want to use the electric energy to produce sound energy? For example, the electric bell. Every day electric bell take the electric energy and they change it into sound which we can hear. Now we will use the electric energy to produce light energy. Super. In the electric lamp we can change the electric energy into light. What about if you want to change the electric energy into heat? Super. Think with me. The electric heater and the electric iron, both of them change the electric energy into heat. Okay, think with me. If we want to change or use the electric energy to produce kinetic, what are the devices around you which can give us kinetic energy from the electric energy? Super. The motor of the fan or the mixer or even the washing machines. Super. If you want to change the light energy into electric, super, the solar cells. Solar cells are devices which are used to absorb the sunlight, and change it into electric energy. Okay, how can we change the chemical energy into electric? Super, the battery or the dry cell stores chemical energy and change it or produce electric energy. The light energy can be changed into chemical energy in the photosynthesis process, and we said it before in the previous lessons that the green plants absorb the sunlight and they change it into chemical energy in the form of the food. Light energy into heat energy. How can we use the light energy and produce from it heat energy? Super. We will use a magnifying lens or the solar heater to collect the sunlight and produce heat energy from. Give reason 4. Think with me. You can hear a sound when you tap a tuning fork. Why? Because the kinetic energy changes into sound energy. So we cannot change one form of the energy to another one. Okay, why on removing a nail from a wooden piece, the nail becomes warmer? Why? Because the kinetic energy changes into heat energy. Yes. Why, or give reason, a toy moves when you let its spring moves freely after its winding or filling. Why? Because the potential energy changes into kinetic energy. Best of luck. Bye bye.